I'm Brad Rourke, President and CEO of Scottie Resources. General forward-looking statement. I'll be making some forward-looking statements, as everyone else. Property we're talking about, Scottie has, is the old Scottie gold mine. It's situated in the Golden Triangle in northern BC, and what started this, or what got me involved in this over 4 years ago was I live in the area in a little town called Smithers, and Pretium at the time was building this $440 million power line, and I came across an opportunity where there was a past producing gold mine, the Scottie gold mine. It produced a half ounce per ton in 1980s, from 1980 to 1984, so to speak, and it just shut down. And so when that power line was being put through, I was going, wow, look, there's this, you want gold, you go to where it's found before. We got Pretium, which hadn't yet been proven, but it was all the action and energy was going on because I lived in the community where their office was. And that's what I got. So I made an investment in this little company. It wasn't called Scottie at the time, and kind of went, okay, I'm going to get into the precious metals business. And so the things that I think, we only have 10 minutes, and my job is to get you guys to come to my booth and actually ask some tougher questions. But what we have here is a very, very prolific area. I'm situated between two mines, being Pretium and the old Premier mine, which is SCOT Resources. It's a permitted mine, it's road accessible, and that power line really changed everything from the north. It's actually the northwest transmission line that changed everything, and just the fact that Pretium put this power line right through our property, or right on the border of our property, made me excited and got me interested in this. When we first started out, late 2016, I started with 400 hectares. Where the little star is up on the upper left blue area, that's what we started with. 4 years later, we've accumulated 18,500 hectares, about 11 different transactions. So, well, the market hasn't been treating junior mining and junior exploration companies well. We saw this as an opportunity to consolidate land when we're in a very difficult area. And because I lived in the area, it might have been easier for me than some other people, and do all the stuff that you're supposed to do. So we remodeled it. We've had structural geologists. We interpreted things and basically just cleaned up this company. The previous company had been in existence. I believe it went public in 2008, and they're struggling just like a lot of the junior companies out there. So from 2016 till now, we accumulated land, had equity exploration come in, do all the modeling, and give us a real good idea of, to take a step back and look at this as a whole system. The Scottie Gold Mine was Don McLeod's first mine, and it shut down only because of economics of the time. But the evidence that we saw was he found a vein on surface and started a mine. But there was no real evidence that they did property-wide exploration. And so that's what really got us excited and committed and persevering over this. There's a picture of the mine. That represents 400 hectares. That's the first 400 hectares that we had. And like I say, now we have 18,502 continuous blocks. The grades that we saw that were done in the 1980s were nothing short of fantastic. They're really hard to read up there, and again, hopefully you'll come down to the booth and we can look at those. But that's what we were working from, and you just go, there's 107 grams over true widths of 4 meters, and just really, really big grades. And so that's what, we've been following up on, and we'll get to our drill program here in a moment, but, we followed up with that what we were looking at, and we were quite successful. 2019 was a pretty big year for us for Scottie. Everything changed for Scottie when in April of 2019 we accumulated all that land around the odd shape in the upper right-hand corner, and we call that the Summit Lake properties. I tried to buy that ever since when I first got involved, and it was just unattainable, and it was privately held by a guy from 1989. There was not real much information, But the work we had done, we were pretty confident that we knew the geology ran to the south, to the west, and to the north of the Scottie gold mine. But we just never dreamt that we could get that piece of land. Well, as the world turned, and we ended up getting that in April. So we did all this 3 years of work, and we were going to just work that odd little shape up in the top right. And we were pretty confident we were going to find 500,000 ounces of high-grade gold, and we'd sell it to SCOT that's building a 2,800-ton-day mill just 10 kilometers down the road. But when we got that piece of property in April of last year, we kind of threw out plan A and went, wow, now we're not going to drill. We've done all this work. We did 3 years of preparing to drill, and we were ready to go. But then we just said, well, no, now we're going to go and look at this from a whole different perspective. And so we had a team of geologists running around that new property at the beginning of the season. What they were finding, I had a really excited team of geologists running around, and we were finding showings after showing. We found like 7 brand new showings on that Summit Lake property, and got everybody really excited because it was kind of fitting what the theories we had within the Scottie gold mine. And if you can see, this is our first pass. If you look at those numbers, like, understand, we didn't know those numbers were what they were when we were taking those rocks up, and we didn't get those assays back until the snow came. Otherwise, we would have spent a lot more time there. But I mean, that's our first pass on that land, so we're really, really excited. Like I said, the Scottie gold mine produced a half ounce per ton in the early 80s, and that was with a 10-gram cutoff. This showing that we found here, the zone, is you just go up the hill from Scottie and down the hill. It's about 2 kilometers away, and so, you know, we found a 536 gram sample. We got chip samples there of over 10 grams at 5 meters. We're finding 64 grams, 34 grams, but basically there's a 700 meter zone by 200 meters wide so far, and it's just mineralization throughout the whole thing. But what excites us is right over top of that, you take that 700 meter line and go right up and down the other side. That's the Scottie gold mine, which basically 95% of all the gold came from one vein, right? This vein that they found on surface. We've got these 2 massive sulfide lenses, and so we're really hoping to connect that to the Scottie gold mine this year, and this will be one of our first drill. It won't be our first drill hole because of snow, but we will be drilling this domino zone this year. And again, that's another picture of, if you see the Scottie gold mine, which is a series of east-west striking veins, and that's an east-west showing that we have on the domino zone. So we're really excited to see if they connect up, and if that's the case, I think we're going to be in really good shape. At the end of the season, we, at the last minute, decided we were going to do that 2,000 meter drill program that we threw out at the beginning of the year. What I'd like to show, I've got a couple minutes left, is we hit 3 for 3 in 3 different zones. It was a small program. There were 3 distinct zones, and everything was great. I mean, we hit a new discovery of 7.5 grams over 34 meters. We hit a 73 gram hole of 4 meters. And then my favorite one is actually the 11 grams over 11 meters, because that's right in front of the Scottie gold mine. That's almost a 50-meter step out in front of the vein that produced a half ounce per ton. The theory was that vein pinched out. What we've just shown is that I think that we've got a lot more running room than the guys 40 years ago thought. So we're really excited about that. But those are grades from just a 2,000 meter program that we threw together at the last minute. And that really kind of brought a lot of attention to people. We're doing well as a company. Things that have happened is, as you may or may not know, that Eric Sprott gave us a little bit of endorsement and kind of gave us some money. We're in a good shape as a company right now. We're in no duress. We have lots of options here. We've got a great program set out for 2020. We won't go into the technicals there. I have a massive tailings pond that's sitting there. Again, please come see us. But we've been working on this for about 2 years. There's potentially some value there for us. What we're going to do this year is we have a 5,000 meter program laid out. We're going to do some IP surveys and some geophysics. We're excited. We think we have a high probability of success, and again, hopefully it gives you enough information to come see us at the booth, because I could talk for about a half hour or so. We've got a great team, and thank you very much.